matters. Usually.
Football will be missed 100%. But, yeah, we're back. KCOU 88.1. I am Jake Sirkus. He is Micah Wright. This is Meta Sports. Crazy week, or crazy couple, 24 hours. I mean, Cal Sanford, again, great game last night.
What was the score of that game, by the way?
I don't know.
That.
I don't know. But let's talk about Mahomes. So it's crazy to think, a 25-year-old talking about his legacy. But when you're being compared to Tom Brady at 24 years old, let's damn talk about your legacy. So he won a Super Bowl in year 2 as a starter. And he didn't play great. He came back from 10. Niners were up 10 with the ball in the fourth quarter, and they, for whatever reason, stopped running the ball in that game, and they lost.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I mean, they had the ball. They passed on second and third down and then punted back to the Chiefs. Chiefs scored, and the rest was history. They came back and won from down double digits. They were down double digits last night. They lost because Tom Brady's smarter. But, so, yeah, it's crazy to talk about Mahomes' legacy, right? But after that win, and for the offseason and a couple games, going into the season, run it back, we're going undefeated, we're the greatest thing ever. He was being compared to Tom Brady because Tom Brady won a Super Bowl early on in his career, and then he won the next year, and he had 2 before he turned 25, I think, before he turned 24, 25.
They went, so he won first year as starter, he would have been 23, 24?
Yeah, so something similar to where Mahomes is right now.
Yeah.
And I say all the time, it's so hard to repeat. It's one of the most underrated, hardest things to do in sports. And another thing that is very hard to do that just does not get talked about is losing a Super Bowl and going back, or just even going back to a Super Bowl at any point in your career. And you might say, Mahomes is so great. He has the Chiefs. They're going to go to 8 Super Bowls, and Mahomes is going to become the GOAT. But here are the quarterbacks in the last 26 years to lose a Super Bowl and then return to one at any point in their career. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, who's done it a multiple amount of times, and Kurt Warner, who did it 9 years apart with a different team. It doesn't happen. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl, then lost and didn't go back. Big Ben won a Super Bowl, lost, didn't go back.
Brett Favre,
that's down the line. But I'm just talking in the last couple of years. Cam Newton has not been the same quarterback since. Obviously, Laws hasn't been back. Matt Ryan, Nick Foles / Carson Wentz, but really Nick Foles. Drew Brees, 1, has not been back. Aaron Rodgers, 1, hasn't been back. So you might say to me, Mahomes is going to go back. He's better than everyone. It's very hard to do that. And Jim...
Real quick, didn't this year feel like, because you mentioned Aaron Rodgers, the 2011 Packers were 15-1 defending champs. Seemed like they were easily going to repeat. Lost in the playoffs, obviously didn't get to the Super Bowl. That's kind of the feeling that I have. Maybe, if we look years back, that's the comparison if they somehow never get back to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so Jim, that's crazy to say, though.
It is,
I am not saying he's not going back. I think he will go back. I'm just putting it into perspective for the people that were like, he is going to make 10 Super Bowls and over and pass Tom Brady. Jim Kelly, 27 years ago, when he made 4 straight, is the last quarterback to lose a Super Bowl and go back. Not named Brady or Manning and Warner, who did it 9 years apart. The last quarterback not named Brady or Manning to lose a Super Bowl and then win one at any point the rest of his career is John Elway's in the 80s. That's the last quarterback to lose, whether he has 10 rings or 0 or 1 ring. John Elway lost a Super Bowl and then won one.
And that was
the rest,
way after.
Yes, that was pretty much after.
The late 80s.
So you might say to me, Mahomes, he can still overpass. He's on the Tom Brady track. No. Now, I'm not going to call him Dan Marino. That's unfair. Dan Marino went to a Super Bowl his rookie year and then lost and never went back. But let's talk about Brett Favre. Brett Favre sat a couple years. I think he sat 2 years with the Falcons. It was some crazy stuff with Brett Favre.
A year with the Falcons.
Yeah. So then he sat
3 games with the Packers.
So then he won a Super Bowl, his first appearance, and then went back the next year and lost to... As a double-digit favorite, he lost to an old quarterback who everyone wrote off by the name of John Elway. He lost that game. Maybe apples and oranges we're talking about. Tom Brady. Mahomes lost to Tom Brady, who everybody has written off going to Tampa. for the weather. He's not trying to win. Patrick Mahomes is on the Brett Favre track now. He is no longer Tom Brady, and it's not bad because Brett Favre's an all-time legend, and Mahomes is still on the all-time legend track because he's 25, has already made more Super Bowls than Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, and he's won one, which Dan Marino couldn't do.
So the Tom Brady track in terms of winning is what you're saying, because numbers.
Well, Brady started 2-0 before he turned 20. I'll be safe and say 25.
Yeah, so
he was 2-0.
He's nowhere near that level of winning on that winning track, but he's had the best start to a career of any quarterback in terms of greatness on the field and numbers and accomplishments right out of the bat, right out of the gate. So, Brady was nowhere near the level that he's played the last, like his first, 5-6 years, he really wasn't that great of a quarterback.
But the point was where everyone was trying to say is that he's Brady is, he's in such a good spot with the system, with Andy Reid, who had some questionable decisions last night with his timeout usage, going back a couple of years to Andy Reid being the worst time management coach in the history of the world.
I missed that running joke because he won the Super Bowl and it all went away, but he helped out 7 points for the Bucs along with Rashad Breeland.
So, Mahomes, he's in this great system with these weapons, all this talent. They're locked up for the future. He's going to go back to multiple Super Bowls, and he's going to win all of them. He's going to win so many of them. When in reality, history shows that his back is against the wall. But I'm going to say this. Last night did not prove what Patrick Mahomes or who Patrick Mahomes is. We know who he is. He is on track to be an all-time great. But, Micah, it showed who he isn't. And take a look across that sideline. That's who he isn't. Patrick Mahomes is not, or probably will never be Tom Brady. That's okay. He's Tom Brady. There's a reason he's Tom Brady. But when, these guys who come up and they win a Super Bowl, because it's happened a plethora of times. Like, that's the NFL make, is these young quarterbacks on a rookie deal, win a Super Bowl, and then fight to go back. And most of them don't. Mahomes did. So at least he went back, and we'll see if he can go back again. But all these guys fight, and looking across that other sideline, like last night proved, he's not Tom Brady. Mizzou did change to the white uniforms that they wore last night. Third straight game, Mavericks in their black unis. As the 2-0 pitches up and away from Halverson. Count goes to 3, and with Dank on deck, the leadoff man.
Halverson's pitched pretty well so far. Hasn't given up a hit yet, but it does have the 2 walks and make it 3.
4-pitch walk to the 9-hitter. Not something you want to see to open up an inning in a game where you have not given up a hit. Now has to face the top of the Mavericks lineup that put up 17 runs last game against what was left of the Tigers bullpen. So 4-0 here, top 3.
Yeah, not an ultra-efficient outing so far by Halverson. Has 35 pitches through 2 innings going into this inning. We've seen a runner go.
Coletta down to second. Throw is not in time. A stolen base from Mason Prosowski. He'll be in scoring position. Pitch was a ball. So it's 1-0 and our first runner in scoring position for the Mavericks today.
I'm telling you what, that was a heck of a throw by Coletta because the jump that Prosowski had there, I thought he was going to beat that throw easy. But, man, he really had some juice on that, and it's very impressive considering the plethora of injuries that he's dealing with right now. But, man, that was a strike.
The 1-0 bunted right back to Halverson over to first in time. Prosowski stayed at second wisely. Halverson never even looked his way, so Prosowski could have probably gotten away with advancing to third, but nonetheless, 1 out is retired here. Brings up Mike Boovy.
Yeah, I think it's possible that Halverson might have been able to see him out of the corner of his eye and just didn't look over there because he didn't see him running. And with Prosowski, that's probably a safe bet because he would have been hosed. I mean, if he sees him taking off right there, he would have been hosed at third base.
Left-handed hitting Boovy. Swings the first pitch he sees and fouls it right back towards the screen. Count 0-1. Boovy grounded out to second base in the first inning. Omaha still hitless with the runner on second. 1 out in the top of the third. Mizzou still leads 4-0 after two two-run home runs in the bottom of the second. Halverson sets, fires, and deals. Misses low and away. Ball 1 to Boovy. Prosowski lurking on second after the stolen base.
Boovie, it looks like just based on how Easton Smith for the Mavericks is pitching, going to have a pretty busy day at first base. A lot of ground balls, and a couple of ground balls have been hit his way so far in this ball game. See what he can do at the plate, though.
Prosowski just playing toys with Halverson, and Halverson fires a strike.
Yeah, he's definitely very active on second base. You see him just jumping around back and forth, fake to take off right there like he was going to try and steal third. Just trying to work in the periphery of Seth Halverson, see if he can throw him off.
0-2 pitch ahead. Halverson looks over at Prosowski, turns and fires. It hits Prosowski in the chest. It will bounce in front of the base. Day will pick it up.
Yeah, a little tough go right there for Prosowski as he took that one. Yeah, that was in the upper body. Not sure if that was the chest or even like the helmet area, but might relax a little bit on that base path after that one. Halverson might just hit him again.
Prosowski dove back head first. We'll try the 0-2 again. Grounded foul right behind home plate. One of the backup catchers. Is that Bonar? It is. Brett Bonar will go and pick it up. Count is 1-2 with 1 out. Prosowski leading off second. Middle infield shifted towards the middle, towards second base. Halverson fires down the line, foul. That was hit pretty well, just a bit late on it. Good spot from Halverson right at the numbers.
Yeah, credit Boovie, though. He does a very nice job of squaring up the ball. You saw him. I mean, he didn't have necessarily a whole lot of hits, only 1 for 3 in that last game with 3 walks. But when he hit the ball, he strikes the ball very well. Does a nice job of finding the barrel of his bat.
The 1-2 to the first baseman. Prosowski still playing on second base, misses outside. Now, what I mean by playing is this is pretty much what little leaguers do. They try to force a balk. They, jump and run around, take a step forward, take a step back. He's trying to get Seth Halverson to balk. But Halverson focused on the 2-2 pitch to Mike Boovie, who grounds it to the left side. Day, tough play. He's going to pass on the throw. So basically a free base, but Prosowski will stay at second. It's going to be an infield single, perfectly placed by Mike Boovie.
Yeah, that time, because Prosowski was making so much noise over there at second base, you had the shortstop pulled in towards the middle. Great job of Day to range over and get it. That prevents Prosowski from going to third or even to going home, so that could play into effect here. If this is like a fly ball to the outfield, it's going to be a tag up to third instead of a tag to home. But nonetheless, 1 out now.
It also gives us more entertainment because we can see him leading off on second once again as Crumwitty sends one deep to right center field, slicing foul. Takes 1 hop out of play. On the chase was Andrew Kiefer in right. So Luke Mann, the third baseman, couldn't quite get to that. That was pretty much Day's ground ball to field. Just perfectly placed from Boovie, and he'll take the free base. So count 0-1 to Keel Crumwitty.
Yeah, I also think that Luke Mann probably went over to cover third to make sure that Prosowski, if Day was able to get that he wouldn't be able to just take a free bag to third. Because obviously going into the hole like that, Day wasn't going to be able to foot race him to third.
The 0-1 from Halverson. So that is in there for a strike. So that was the first hit for the Mavericks, an infield hit by Mike Boovie. And now the number 3 hitter, Crumwitty, 0 for 1 today. With a ground out to Luke Mann.
Top of the third, Mizzou still leading Omaha 4-0.
And Prosowski gets in a pickle, try to get him to balk. Halverson will go make the tag. So that's the thing. I'm telling you, Little League baseball, Little League base running, if it doesn't work, it really, really doesn't work. So Prosowski playing toys with Seth Halverson. And he looked like he was stealing and then just stopped halfway through.
Well, he realized...
Back in the game, Pickett is their second leading scorer today. Just not a bunch of action from the Missouri top guys. In the corner, Pickett drives baseline, pulls up, and knocks down the jumper. So Javon Pickett, he's been their rock all night, and he knocks down a huge jumper for them for their first points of the second half.
Yeah, I definitely like to see Javon Pickett get involved. Someone who's not going to light up the stat sheet, but will give you enough points to keep you in a game.
Schuler getting guarded tightly at the top by Mark Smith. Missouri needs to get something going, go on a huge run right here if they want a chance in this game. 16 and a half minutes left. Schuler will take the screen. He'll stand on the perimeter. Now he'll drive left. Lost the ball. Available for taking. Rodriguez has it. He'll shoot the three. No good as the shot clock expired. Good tight defense by the Missouri Tigers. Drew Smith on the other end. He'll drive middle. He will shoot it, but the foul is called on the ground by number 5, KJ Buffett, his second of the night. So Missouri a chance. They can hit a couple shots here, make some, force some stops, and they're right back in it. This game is not over. 16 minutes, 15 seconds. So the Tigers will inbound it with 26 seconds left on the shot clock for this possession. Drew Smith will take it on the baseline. Looking for someone to throw to. Down by 12. Gets it inside to Kobe Brown. Great pass. He had Buffett looking in no man's land and draws a foul. So Buffett had no idea what was going on, and the foul is called on him. So 2 consecutive fouls for Buffin, and 3 fouls for him now on the night.
Yeah, Ole Miss definitely getting some of their key contributors at the moment into some early foul trouble. Both Buffin and White with 3 fouls with 16-14 left to go in the second. Definitely going to be interesting to see how Mizzou is able to capitalize.
And Kobe Brown, right on cue. He misses the free throw. Missouri is getting the chances. They're just not connecting. 3 for 9 from the free throw line tonight. Down by 12. Pinson looking on the bench. Not his night so far. Really not his night for number 1. Only 4 points, 2 of 7, 0 for 3 from deep. As Kobe Brown misses again. So the third time the Tigers go 0 for from the charity stripe. Maybe we need to change that name and not call it the charity stripe anymore. It's supposed to be easy. I guess not for these Tigers. Schuler has it. He will give it to Sammy Hunter. Schuler from deep. He knocks it down. Devontae Schuler, he's been quiet throughout the night, but he's reminding you who he is. 9 points for Devontae Schuler. Ole Miss extends the lead to 15. They're shooting 40% from deep. Missouri's shooting 46% from deep. They're just turning the ball over, Hecklot, and not doing anything from the free throw line. Drew Smith has it. He'll get it to Mark Smith, working on Schuler. Almost travels, gets it back to Drew Smith. Double team. Mitchell Smith wide open at the SEC logo, and he knocks that down. Nice shot from Mitchell Smith. 54-41 with 15 and a half minutes left in the game.
Yeah, just inconsistent shooting from Missouri, from outside, from behind the arc, or from in front of the arc, and in the paint. Definitely something that Missouri's gonna have to work on to try and claw back into this game.
Schuler has it at the top. He wants to pull up from deep. He will from the parking lot. He knocks it down. Devontae Schuler knocks it down from Mars. 57-41 Ole Miss.
Yeah, this game is very reminiscent of the first game that the Missouri Tigers played against the Tennessee Volunteers, where just Ole Miss just can't miss a shot, while Missouri can't seem to have anything fall.
Drew Smith can't get the layup to go. It'll be another free possession for Ole Miss. Schuler has 12. He has 6 straight. It's takeover time for Devontae Schuler. He gets the mismatch on Kobe Brown. Now he gets Javon Pickett. Devontae Schuler drives, steps back from mid-range, and just off the mark. Good rebound by Robert Allen. He draws the foul. So Ole Miss now contributing on the offensive glass, something that actually they do a good amount. And they lead 57-41.
Yeah, Missouri just looks flat-footed. Definitely just something that Ole Miss just seems to be a better team right now. Looking like they're more poised to do something this season with what's left of it, while Missouri's just kind of just there.
This has not been Missouri's night. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on KCU 88.1 FM, 57-41 Ole Miss leads. This is Missouri Tigers basketball. We'll be right back. Back in Oxford, 57-41, the Rebels lead, and the Tigers only a couple of baskets in the first 5 minutes of this opening half. Justin, what do they need to do to get back in this game?
It's a great question. Turn the ball over considerably less is a good start. But, I mean, they're doing everything right offensively, just haven't connected when it mattered, and do something on defense. Make a stop, get a rebound, do something to where Ole Miss's rhythm and momentum just kind of stops.
For those of you who aren't looking at the box score is really not in Missouri's favor, but they're not playing considerably bad. 53% from the field, 46% from three. They've turned the ball over only one more time. They have less fouls, only 2 less steals. They're playing decent basketball. They were on pace to score 74 points, which is just below their season average. They just have not been able to put points up on the board for the second half. And it's been the Devontae Shuler show over the last 3 minutes as Robert Allen misses the free throw. So some free throw bad luck going the other way now in this basketball game, as Robert Allen will try to make it 58-41, and he will. Tigers trail by 17. Pinson back in the game. Not his night so far. 0 for 3 from deep. 4 points for him. Parker Brown also back in the game. Tillman actually is still in the game. Pinson drives to the right side, gets it to Mark Smith. Parker Brown in the corner. He won't shoot it. Mark Smith gets it to Pinson. Tillman the high screen. Pinson runs right into 2 defenders, and it's stolen away. Ole Miss has numbers again. That is Shuler. He'll pull up. Can't get the roll. Brown tips it, and into the hands of Jeremiah Tillman. Drew Smith on the other end. Gets to Tillman inside. Tillman will fake. Inside pass to Parker Brown, who will lay it up and in. Jeremiah Tillman. Might as well call him Steve Nash. What a pass.